Hi, my name is Alistair Ben. One of the things I think is really important when looking at image processing is to understand that it's an emotional thing, not a technical thing. Very much most of the learning material we see on Lightroom or Photoshop tends to be of a technical nature, and it's telling us how to do things in a certain order, and it's very much about processes. Even worse are the plethora of presets and built-in actions that basically deliver somebody else's vision of what our images should look like. So the way I teach Lightroom very much on my workshops and in most of my other learning material is to consider Lightroom as an emotional platform. People respond to images on an emotional level. We talk about the things we love using emotional language. So I think it's really important that when we're processing that we put these emotions in. And what I want to demonstrate very, very quickly in this little session is the types of ways that we can bring in predictability by making some adjustments just using the basic panel. So this is going to be very, very quick. Now, I don't believe that any numbers down the right hand side in Lightroom are of any value whatsoever, and I'm not even convinced that the names of the sliders have much to do with it either, because I consider every single one of them is an impact slider. It's an emotional slider. And if I start off by just taking the temperature slider here and moving it from the blue towards the yellow, we see that the image warms up and the feel changes. You can go all the way to the extreme and it gets really wild. Equally, if we go all the way to the other extreme, it gets also very wild. And I think it's important for us to appreciate that every time we move that, it's changing the feel of the image. And we should stop moving it when it resonates with us the most. Equally, with the exposure slider, the darker something gets, the more moody and mysterious it gets, and it gets stripped down to its highlights. All we're really seeing here particularly are these specular highlights on the leaves. And if I take the white slider and increase the luminosity of those brighter pixels, then we can see again we've created a much, much moodier and dynamic version of this photograph. And if I now take the temperature slider and pull it back to the left-hand side somewhat to cool some of that misty fog in the background, and then turn the lights off, we can see now that we have quite a moody, mysterious, dark, and all the words I'm trying to use here are descriptive words, they're emotional words, they're feely words. I'm not talking about apertures and depth of field and shutter speeds and temperatures of Kelvin degrees to try and describe this. It's an emotional interaction. And in this very little short session, all I want to highlight here is that every single slider in Lightroom has the ability to change the mood and feel of our images. And the sooner we get in touch with those emotional connections, the better. So hopefully this has been useful, and I wish everyone a really good day. All the best now. Bye.